Welcome back. In this video, I wanted to go over EBS or Elastic Block Store. So what is an EBS volume? An EBS volume is a high-performance block storage service designed for EC2 instance. Pretty simple, right? Well, kinda. It's basically like a network drive that you attach to your EC2 instance. This network drive is responsible for containing the operating system your EC2 instance uses and for persistently storing your data. Storing persistent data means if you restart your EC2 instance, your data will remain in the drive. Like a real hard drive where you can mount multiple EBS volumes to the same EC2 instance. The only caveat is that you can't mount the drives across availability zones. They must be in the same availability zone as the EC2 instance you're trying to mount to. For example, you can't mount an EBS volume from AZ1 to an EC2 instance in AZ2. Now, you also can't mount the same drive to more than one instance, unless you use EBS multi-attach. But you won't need to know that for the Cloud Practitioner, and it's also not super common. Now, with EBS volumes, you get billed based on the amount of storage that is allocated to you. For example, if you allocate 30 gigabytes of storage for your EBS volume, you will pay for all 30 gigabytes even if you only use 5 gigabytes of storage. Also, if you decide to terminate your EC2 instance, by default, the root EBS volume or the volume with your OS that is attached to your EC2 instance will be terminated. Any extra non-boot volume will not be terminated by default. Now, there are different types of EBS volumes. We have the GP2 and GP3 or general purpose volumes, which are SSD-backed volumes. And these volumes will have a higher IOPS count, which provide low latency for your high-performing applications. We also have the provisioned IOPS SSD, which provides super sub-millisecond low latency for your EC2 instance workloads. And as you can see, it has 16 times the amount of IOPS when compared to the general purpose SSD. But don't worry, and don't feel overwhelmed. You won't need to know this level of detail for the Cloud Practitioner certification. Just understand that the general purpose is an SSD-backed volume for your EC2 instance. I just want you to think when you see general purpose, it should work for your general workloads. And when you have a need for a high-performing SSD, you should use a provisioned IOPS SSD. All of this performance does come at a cost. So if you get something like an IO2 block express drive, just keep in mind you do pay for this performance increase. We also have throughput optimized and cold hard drives, which are much cheaper EBS volumes. The cost savings with these do come at a performance cost, as they perform much less than the regular EBS volumes. But they also have different use cases for them. You wouldn't want to put an application that requires ultra-low latency on one of these drives. Again, you don't need to know the in-depth details of these drives for the exam, just understand the different use cases for them. I'll see you in the next video.